Now we're getting somewhere. I do think we needed that swap to shake things up. Not to say that the dynamics could have been interesting, but this definitely put the season up in a few notches because, well, it's been a little difficult for me to talk about this season in the previous videos. I still had things to discuss, but my enthusiasm wasn't that high. But this episode, I had a lot more enthusiasm. So everyone comes back from Tribal, and it's odd that everyone is so accepting that David played the idol. Now, to be fair, he does have a little bit of a personality that makes him stand out a little bit more, so maybe they're just thinking it's just David being David. I don't know. They obviously know him a lot better than we do because it's been said multiple times on the early seasons of these reality shows that various people interact on these shows a lot more than even a good amount of their closest friends. So even though they've only been out there for 12 to 14 days, yeah, a lot can happen in that amount of time when you can't get away from people, right? And then Jessica pulls Ken aside and then tells him that she has the legacy advantage and that if she's going to be voted out, she's most likely going to give it to him. And it's interesting how he doesn't overreact, but it does give him a little bit more of an ability to be close to someone and make his own game again, unlike last week where I just didn't get why he kind of meandered off. Yeah. And I'm glad he didn't fly off the handle about it, and I think Jessica handled that pretty well, actually. I'm impressed. The next day, David finding the idol. Well, I had been thinking that was the most likely situation, and in a way, I think it does have potential to make it more interesting. Even though, never mind what I was gonna say. I think I was going to say something about like people finding the idol twice, but I've realized that that's happened before. Russell, Reynolds, maybe Malcolm, even though that second one should not have happened. Why does no one talk about that? Right, but anyway. Then we get the tribe expansion, which I think is why people were shocked in the last bit, and that makes a lot more sense that they would be shocked by the expansion a bit, because one, it's only been done once on an exceptional season, and two, this time the numbers don't divide easily by 3, although Jeff throws in the not interesting, but appropriate caveat that because one of the tribes has to start over, they get the extra member. I got no problems with that, that makes sense. And Steven on Rob Susternino's video brought up an interesting point. Apparently there actually was an idol hidden at Angkor back in Cambodia, but no one found it, and his personal bet is that nobody is going to find this particular idol either, and I would be tempted to agree with that, but who knows, it could happen. Although it was nice to know that this time all the new tribe really has going against them is just having to start over from scratch. It seems like this location actually has pretty much the same resources that the other two do, so it's not like Cambodia where it seemed like they deliberately stacked the deck against them at first. Yeah. So how did I feel about these tribes? Well, the Green Tribe, I didn't have too much of a reaction, to be honest, although I did actually end up kind of predicting that Will was likely to end up on that tribe. I don't know why I said that, and then also I found it amusing that they actually sent Will out of the immunity challenge, because out of the 4 challenges that Will has had an ability to sit out, I know he sat out 2, and he might have sat out a 3rd. I know Hannah sat out the other one, so it's just odd that they keep sitting him out. I wonder. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that tribe, although I did find it interesting that Jay was taking a lot more of control of that beach. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to him in that position, because I don't foresee anyone else really stepping up to change things in that area. Oh, but what? No. Adam's on the purple tribe, not the green tribe, right. So the purple tribe, I felt we were getting some nice characters on that tribe, but I found myself really hoping that that tribe would lose, because I really wanted to see what would happen on the tribal dynamics. You know, would Ken and Jessica stick together? Would Adam turn on the showmans? Everybody seems to think that he will. And I think odds are that he probably will, but I'm going to hold my breath a little bit because you never know. One wrong saying can change everything. Or who knows, maybe Figgy will get tired of Taylor. Because given the confessional that she got, there's a little hint that she might. Right. And then as for the Orange Tribe, I found myself kind of hoping at first that that tribe wouldn't lose, because I felt like we kind of got the people all over the place that had fragile games, because Chris, he's been on the wrong side of the Gen X tribe round after round after round, but he got a lot more camera time than Brett. Then you got Cece, who did bad at that challenge, and mainly is a little bit lucky that she's escaped a few votes. David, whose personality keeps pushing him away. Zeke, who was basically the Chris on the Millennials side. And then there's Michelle, who lost all the allies close to her. Yeah, so just amazing how all of them just found themselves in a tough spot. Even though David, you can argue, wasn't in that much of a tough spot. And I kind of agree, but yeah. So I was hoping that they probably wouldn't lose, because I got the idea that Michelle was going to be in trouble, because Zeke, he struck me as a guy who can make a friendship with almost everyone. Michelle, not so likely. And then Chris gradually ends up being the middle guy on the tribe, and it was nice to see him actually have a chance to, try and exercise some power, even though it was extremely basic power. Although I find it interesting that they didn't really touch upon Zeke potentially flipping on Michelle much more than they did for just that one opening bit of dialogue when they first got to the beach of what was the Millennial camp. Yeah, I kind of wish that we had gotten into his mind a little bit more in that situation, because I felt like he had just as much to provide to the discussion as Chris and David did, although, to be fair, he does have the friendship with Chris due to a connection of growing up in the same area, but I've never really gotten like local bonds on any of these shows, because it's just coincidence that you happen to be from the same area, okay? You could still have different personalities, not share interests in local stuff, huh? I don't get it. But then again, I've never had too many friends. That's not a sob story. So, what am I to know, huh? Right. Anyway, so that's about all I can say about the interaction. So then we fast forward to the immunity challenge. At first I was like, okay, Purple Tribe, I want to see you lose. Green, I'm pretty sure they're going to win this. And I hope Orange doesn't lose. But then I see how badly CC and David are doing. And then how David, even when he gets up on the platform, he loses the buoy. I wasn't laughing when I saw it. I was face planting, but looking back, it's funny. But like, as I was watching that, I go, and then I see actually how reasonable Purple is doing, and I'm like, you know what, I changed my mind. Orange, I want you to lose now! Because if you're going to keep that up, just just, I want to see you lose, right? So, in the end they did, even though Ken took forever with nailing those shots, even with a closer target, and I was like, why don't you give Adam a shot, huh? Seriously, why didn't they? I mean, like, on the Green Tribe, it made sense because Michaela made those first two shots, so just have her do it. And then on Orange, it made sense because Chris is fairly athletic and has the more muscle mass, all that good stuff, yeah. But it's just not that he didn't throw it away, but in the end, Orange did lose, thankfully. And then we get the interesting dynamic of who's going to get a stab in the back. Clearly it wasn't going to be Chris, and odds are it wasn't going to be David, because I really did not buy the strength of Michelle trying to put Cece on David. In fact, I honestly thought it was kind of stupid that she was trying to throw David a little bit under the bus with that backup idea. Just, yeah, I mean, like, I know that people say do whatever you can, but I've always been a proponent of don't really try something unless there's actually a chance that it might work. Okay? And then, if you know that there's no way that you can save yourself, then do what you can to undermine the people remaining in the game. But this didn't really feel like a situation where Michelle didn't have any hope. I mean, like, I figured that she was more likely to go than a Cece just because of us not hearing too much from her, but that just struck me as odd. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I can say about that. And then David's own thoughts about turning on Cece, well, it is staring you in the face, although I was kind of unsure about Chris's angle going on that, because why would the swing vote forfeit a little bit of his position? Now, to be fair, okay, Chris, even though he was the swing vote here, it was a little obvious that he probably would be the swing vote. So to be fair, you can argue, oh, because he forfeited a little bit of his power, he's not necessarily the swing vote anymore, and not all the blame is on his shoulders. Well, yes, but at the same time, everyone on this particular tribe has different personalities, and, Right, it is a logical discussion, but it strikes me as a little bit odd. But as I might have alluded to a little earlier, individual case produces individual results. Yeah. And also it could be just simply the order of how all these events occurred, because that's something that has potential to change for people. Because, like, let's just say people hear 5 things. Hearing things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can produce a different reaction than if somebody hears it's 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, that kind of a thing. Yeah. So at Tribal, I wasn't totally paying attention to everybody because, again, everyone was being perfectly honest with each other. I had still begun to think that Michelle was likely to go, and that David not playing his idol, I honestly didn't think he was going to play the idol, to be honest with you. But then I saw this particular shot as Jeff's pulling the first vote out of Zeke and Michelle holding hands, and I go, okay, why would they be holding hands and David not play his idol if Michelle's going? Just seems odd, because I got the idea that if Michelle was going, Zeke would know about it, but if Cece was going, David wouldn't necessarily know about it, huh? So that was when I kind of changed my prediction, but I still held my breath until the 4th vote came out, and then Cece was voted out, yeah. And it did make sense, and that's really all I can say about that. She unfortunately dug herself her own grave, albeit pretty much 100% unintentionally. Just bad luck of the draw, really. Kind of like PG, yeah. So that's about it for there. And then, according to Jeff, next week we get a survival first at one of the challenges, and apparently the blindfold challenge is back. The big question is it going to be people trying to get puzzle pieces, or is it trying to get items like they did in Kagayan and Worlds Apart? That'll be interesting.